Good morning and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Pavani. I hope you're doing good. Today is 28th November. Dear friends, let's start our day with a quote from Robert Frost. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on. Very interesting 3 words, isn't it? That life, it goes on. With this, dear friends, flat 60% discount that is available on our pen drive and tablet courses is about to end. Today is the last date of this sale, so make the most out of it. If you have any question or queries regarding it, feel free to give us a call on the numbers that you can see on your screen. But I'm sure you'll find all important information on studyiq.com. With this, dear friends, today is Wednesday, so we find this interview, right? But this interview is not important. If you have extra time, then you can go through it. As far as your examination is concerned, it's not that important, so you can totally drop this one. Now, the first and one of the most important topic of the day is trail of destruction. And can you take a guess, right? This trail of destruction is pertaining to which topic or what's going on or what happened in recent past. Let me give you a small hint. It's something to do with natural hazard, right? So I believe now you have posted your guess answers in the comment section of this video. So let's find out about this trail of destruction. It is about this cyclone Gaj that has destroyed so many villages and so many lives in parts of Tamil Nadu and also in some parts of Andhra Pradesh and in some parts of Puducherry as well. Things are very bad. This is the second time we are talking about this particular topic. A couple of days ago we have gone through this map of our country. If this is the first time you're looking at this map, then I will reckon you guys to spend at least, right, minimum 10 minutes, right? Invest. I would rather use the word invest. Invest 10 minutes after this map. Study it. Go through this drought-prone area, hot desert area, cold desert area, flood-prone area, and areas affected by cyclonic storms and earthquake areas and all these areas, because climate change is something that is it's getting more and more severe. And the frequency of this sort of natural hazards has gone up as well. So climate change is a big thing at present. And apart from climate change, disaster management is, of course, disaster and things associated with disaster is clearly part of your syllabus. So you should have a good understanding about this natural hazards and types of natural hazards and areas, right, that are prone to various different types of natural hazards in our country. So for regular students as well, right, if it is the second time you're going or coming across this particular map, then as well I would reckon you guys to spend good enough time after this map. Right, so let's see what we have got. Some important some important things that we find in this editorial called Trail of Destruction. Right, so dear friends, here you can see a couple of points. And the most interesting one is this one, that Cyclone Gaj's impact is comparable to that of tsunami of 2004. It is now clear that suffering, the loss and the displacement is of an enormous magnitude. This makes this cyclone Gaj a very destructive as well as a very, I would say, monstrous cyclone, because we were now at present we have all this early warning system. We have this satellites up there in the sky, so we can figure out, right, we can have this estimation like how bad it is going to be, and we can sort out things. We can evacuate people, and all these things were executed by Tamil Nadu government, right? We also talked about this thing. Remember that political parties are unifying in the sense like there is no sort of controversies, or they are not blaming on each other. They are rather helping each other, and they are helping people of Tamil Nadu, and people were also cooperating, and their other agencies were there as well to help people in evacuating people and things like that, shelter homes and other things. But generally what happens is of course, any government and any government will focus on number of casualties. If a number of casualties is low, then that is a good news, of course, right? So as far as the number of casualties are concerned, number is quite low when we compare. Compare the strength of this cyclone Gaj and casualties, then it's quite low, and that's a good thing. At least we have something to cheer upon. But when we go through this, suffering, the losses and displacement, then things are very bleak, because Tamil Nadu government's latest report indicates that 3.4 lakh houses are destroyed by this cyclone Gaj. 3.7 lakh people, they have lost their houses, right? They are now homeless. They used to be just as normal as you and I, but now they are homeless. So you can imagine the hardship through which they are going through at present. Farmers, their piece of land is destroyed because of this erosion and other things. Water sources are contaminated. Electricity supply remains disrupted. And just one example about this, this farmers, that 60 to 80% of coconut trees are down. 60 to 80% is not just bad for Tamil Nadu, but it is bad for India as well, because nearly 25% of total coconut production of our country is coming from Tamil Nadu. And if 60 to 80% of coconut trees are down, that means, this coconut supply in our economy or in the market will get a big, it will face a disruption, of course. Now you'd be thinking, like, if we are not in peninsular portion of India, particularly in the southern states, then it's not going to be that big, because coconut is not something that is consumed on regular basis in northern part of India, but in southern part of India, right? From your coconut oil and edible oil, and there are so many products, from mithais and sweets and other things. So many things are made up of, the coconut is a basic thing in South India. So it will kick inflation as well. So it's going to be a bit more severe for people, particularly I would say this poor people of Tamil Nadu or maybe Kerala and other places, because the overall supply will get a sort of, there will be a cut down in supply, of course. Now, you may think that we can sort it out once things are normal, but that's not a case, or that's not something that we can do with coconut, because it takes ages for a coconut plant to get mature. So for a very long period of time, this ripple effect will stay. The top priority of course, the government should be to restore administrative systems and services. And once administrative system and service is back to normal, officials should ensure that all these basic necessities are provided to the people of Tamil Nadu, particularly those people who are affected by this cyclone Gaj. And this helpline is open now. If we want, then we too can help them, right? We can contribute, just like many of us, I can safely say that many of us have actively contributed. We participated in bringing back our state of Kerala on its feet. So you can contribute. These lines are open. Do check out the Hindu newspaper. They have provided an address where you can send your money and things like that. So if you can send money, then do make sure that at least you pass this message to other people as well, that helpline is open now. Moving on to next item, it is about a thing that we have already discussed, right? It's lessons from a tragedy. So this one is about this Joan Ellen Chow's death, and we have talked about it. So some basic items, we are not going through it, right? I'll just quickly give you a brief. That there is a demand at present. There are a few people out there. They are demanding that people living in this North Sentinel Island. So this is your Andaman and Nicobar, right? Complete this piece of Union territory that we have in Bay of Bengal, and to be precise, Andaman Sea. And here you can see this north portion is Andaman, and the southern portion is Nicobar, and this Andaman and Nicobar is separated by this 10-degree channel. So 10-degree channel is 10-degree latitude. Remember this thing, right? So here somewhere down we have 0 degree, that is equator. Then we have 1 2 3 4 5. So when you reach here, it is 10-degree latitude north, of course. So a channel is basically a route, right? It's a route for the ships. Now here you can see this is a zoomed map here of Andaman. So this is your North Sentinel Island that is in news from last couple of days because of this this death of this person here called Joan and Chow. Now we don't know the exact reason why Chow went to this island, but there is a demand out there at present. There are a few people who are saying that those Sentinelese tribal people, they should be punished. There are a few people who are saying that they should be merged with modern society, and we have talked about this thing earlier on as well. The bottom line that we should not interfere, right, with their way of life. We should leave them alone because they are very special, not only for India, but they are special for the whole world, because probably they are the only ones who are as it is from pre-Neolithic era. So we should at least maintain this diversity that we have, natural diversity that has been maintained by those people living on this Sentinel, those tribal people, and they are falling under this category of Pvt Jeez. Pvt Jeez stands for particularly vulnerable tribal groups, right? Again, particularly vulnerable tribal groups means Pvt Jeez. So they are protected under this Pvt Jeez Act that we have in our country, and it is sign of either you can say pathological primitivity, that they are displaying this hostility towards us, or it could be their past experiences with people, because during this British Raj there were so many tribal communities that were destroyed by or harassed by this British Raj when they were ruling over, when the country was under slavery of this British government. So it could be that, it could be some other reason, who knows, right? We don't know that much about them, because still at present as well we are not sure about the language that they speak. We cannot understand their gestures, and we can of course figure it out that they are displaying hostility towards us, but still why they are doing this thing we are not sure about it, and rather than finding this reason, it is better to leave them alone. The good thing about the government of India so far has been that since independence we have not interfered, right? As a government we have not interfered with their life. We have left them alone. They are also known as Sentinel Jarbas, and there are so many people, they do try to penetrate here for tourism and for some adventurous purpose, but it is a very dangerous thing to go there, and dangerous for not only our lives but dangerous for this community as well, because our infection, there are so many things, right? If we can infect them with so many diseases, and they don't have this immunity that we have, so it's going to be far more disastrous for this Sentinel Jarbas if we visit this place. And we have to understand this thing that it's they have this choice. They have all the rights to live their lives as they have been living for since time immemorial. One thing that I would like to add here is that if someone can reach here, that means proper protection is not provided, and if there has been any gap, then why we find this sort of loophole? We need to find answers to this question as well, apart from this question like what was the main purpose of this Joan to visit this island. Investigation is going on. There are some 5 Indians who are arrested, right, who helped this Joan to visit this island. So the investigation is going on. Now let's wait and watch. Moving on to another item. Again, it's an item that is something that we all are well aware about. It's not something that is completely new to us. Have I told you this thing that today you find this this interview, right? It's a pure political interview. If you have extra time, then you can go through it, or else you can completely ignore this interview. It's pure political one. I'm not saying that politics is not important, but this a particular politician saying something and something about his party, and politician talking about opposition party and things, so rival party, then those sort of things are not important. If you are interested, then you can help yourself with it. Now, next editorial that we have is breathing space. Now, this breathing space is not about pollution. It's about rupee. It's about oil prices, crude oil prices, and there are few good news for us as far as this rupee and oil prices are concerned. Now, rupee has managed to gain some ground over the last few weeks. It has gained almost 5%, which is not bad. Now, let me throw some light on this drop, or you can say fall and rise of rupee and its impact on our economy. Right, we'll use very layman's examples here. Right, so just imagine you have a particular item in international market, and the price of that particular item is $1 per unit. Right, $1 per unit for XYZ in international market. Now, today, if you want to purchase, just imagine that this conversion rate is 60 rupees for $1. Just imagine, right? 60 rupee for $1. So if you want to purchase this item today, then you have to pay, if you want to buy 1 unit of this item, then you have to pay 60 rupees, isn't it? Just imagine if tomorrow, if rupee, the value of rupee falls down, and if it becomes 70 rupee per dollar, then to purchase same item whose market price is $1, you have to spend 70 rupees. So in this case, what happens is that when the value of rupee is going down, right, your imports will become expensive. I hope things are clear to you that imports here in this case, this import became expensive when the rupee's value was down. Now, if you are exporting something, just imagine if you are selling something, 1 unit price is $1 in international market. Earlier on, when you used to sell this item, you used to get 60 rupees. But now today, if you sell it, and today if conversion rate is 70 rupees, then you will get 70, 70 rupee for $1. So for exports, when the price of rupee is down, it is good for exports, but it is very bad for imports. Now, we are talking about one more item, and that is this crude oil. Very important item again, because 80% of our energy requirement, this oil requirement, is imported. So you can imagine here that if 80% of oil is crude oil is imported, and if this scenario is there from 60, if the rupee value is falling down to 70, then our oil import will become expensive. If oil is getting expensive, then it will kick inflation, because your transportation cost will go up, and it will impact our overall economy. The ripple effect of rupee falling down and crude oil prices on international market as well. Crude oil prices was going up, so we were facing this double, you can say, jatkas, or double impact or blow. On one side, rupee value was going down. On the other side, we can see that this price of crude oil was going up. So we were literally bleeding, and this impact or the ripple effect of this thing is we can see it is visible in political arena, right? Pressure on central government to cut down taxes on this thing, and pressure on state government to cut down taxes on petrol. And if taxes are going down, then this will impact revenue of government. If revenue gets affected, then development process gets affected. So politically, this are some negative impact. Economically, savings going down, things becoming a bit more dearer. So, and socially as well, it will create, so many people will face troubles, and the normal life will get affected. So a ripple effect of this thing is quite severe on our overall Indian way of life, isn't it? I hope this thing is clear to you. Now, rupee has gained against dollar in tandem with the fall of crude global crude prices. So global crude oil price is down, right? It used to be $86 per barrel in October. At present, it is $60 per barrel, which is not bad at all. It's a good thing, particularly for a country like India. One of the main reason is supply was injected by United States of America. USA has got this shale gas and shale oil. Shale is a way of what they do in this shale technologies. They will if they find, they do surveys, like if there is a gas or oil trapped in sedimentary rocks, then they will dig a hole, and then they will inject a pipe, and then they will inject high pressure water will be injected here, and all these cracks where the gas is trapped will be released, and then this gas will try to come out, and what you get is this whole process is called fracking, and this is how you get this shale gas and oil. So I hope things are clear, right? It was just a very rough you can say brief overview or bird's eye view on what shale gas is all about. So USA has got this shale gas technology, and it is it has become an important player as far as this gas and oil is concerned. So it started supplying extra amount of this oil and gas in international market, and because of this thing there is a drop in international Brent crude oil price, which is a good news. Now the fall in global crude oil price comes as a big relief for central government, as we know, and according to UBS, a drop of $10 in the price of oil can improve India's current account deficit as well as a fiscal deficit by 0.5 and 0.1% of GDP respectively. So here you can see that there has been a drop of 26 rupees. So you can calculate how much impact it will have on current account as well as fiscal deficits. Now Reserve Bank of India will be relieved as well, because when inflation, when this rupee is down, when crude oil or this overall crude oil prices is up, and because of this inflation is kicked. So to control this inflation, it has to control the flow of money. It has to use these monetary tools, and these monetary tools includes this rising interest rate. When interest rate goes up, loans become expensive. When loans are expensive, we see lack of investment in the market. At the same time, when crude oil prices is up, this overall there will be a sort of the space of this economy will slow down, and you will not see that much productivity. So it creates huge amount of pressure for RBI as well. So things are a bit okay for RBI. Now we have to wait and watch for this 6th December when this OPEC, what is the full form of OPEC? This is a question for you guys. Post your answer in the comment section. So on 6th December, OPEC is going to have a meeting, and shale companies are also they are also going through this thing. They are checking that at least they are achieving this break-even point. Break-even point means a point where you are not either generating profit or loss, right? So it's break-even point is a safety point. So you don't lose anything and you don't gain anything. So shale companies are wondering that at least they are achieving this BEP. If they are going below BEP, then that is going to be dangerous. So anyways, so that's everything about this particular editorial. Now let's talk about this prescription for the future. It's about healthcare in India, and we know that things have changed drastically in our country, particularly after this information technology and biotechnology. These two technologies are twin engines as far as this medical field or medical world is concerned. Things have changed. Telemedicine is something that is something that is already being practiced in various different pockets of our country, and it is going to be the future. You'll be able to get or consult a doctor living in maybe California or Tokyo, right? Language barriers and other things are not going to be any sort of hurdles in future. You can pay online. You can book your appointment with that doctor online. You can get your, lab reports. A person can pop down to your house, can collect your sputum, your urine, your blood, and your reports can be mailed to you. It can be directly shared with the doctor you're consulting. So telemedicine is going to be the future, and we can, today's era is all about these wearables. There are so many smart watches and so many various different gadgets. So with the help of artificial intelligence, it's going to help us. These wearables will monitor our basic things, and based on our activities and other things, artificial intelligence can design our day-to-day lives, and the things that we need, the do's and don'ts for us can be provided by this artificial intelligence. So life, as far as medical field is concerned, of course, not for everyone. We need to achieve this thing. That's what we are trying with the help of this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, with this insurance schemes and other things. We have to work and we have to reimagine some innovative model through which we can provide low-cost healthcare facilities to everyone. At the same time, we have to make sure that we maintain or we achieve a fine balance, a proper balance. Right? We have to, on one side, make sure that private hospitals are making a little bit of money. At the same time, the poorest of the poor person is getting this best medical facilities. So this is a balance that we have to achieve at any cost. But at the same time, we have to make sure that this healthcare facilities are sustainable. So that's everything, right? It's not that you can say rocket science. It's easy to understand. Now moving on to latest news items. RBI governor stresses need for autonomy of central bank. Autonomy over depositors' interest is non-negotiable. Monetary policy should be exclusive domain of RBI. Maintaining RBI's reserves is critical for keeping the country's AAA rating. Obligated to follow Basel III norms, as government has committed to G20 on them and will give written answers to all the questions within 10 to 15 days, has been said by Urjit Patel, who is governor of RBI. Agricultural Ministry takes back report on note ban or demonetization. Kartarpur corridor has infinite possibilities, has been said by Sidhu. CWC, that is Central Voter Commission, has approved the feasibility report of nearly 6,000 crore Mekedatu multi-purpose project across Kaveri River. Here you can see ISRO is ready to launch its hyperspectral imaging satellite. It will be launched tomorrow, and the PSLV C43 is going to launch it. With it, it is also going to carry 30 small satellites of foreign customers. Modi to meet Xi in Buenos Aires, and Buenos Aires is capital of Argentina. Next week, G20 summit is going to take place over there. Reserve Bank to inject 40,000 crore in December. The RBI will pump in more liquidity in December by infusing 40,000 crore rupees into the system through open market operations. NPA is on downhill path since March peak, says RBI, and NASA's InSight lands on Mars. Yesterday's this map-based or this photo-based question was about this InSight, and I have got an infographic for you guys. So once you download the PDF of today's lecture, you can go through it. And here I have one more picture for you guys. In fact, two pictures. So what this is all about, in which country we find this situation of this whales, right? This pilot whales are dying, and we don't know the reason, right? Still, scientists are not sure about why this sort of things do take place. But normally this many whales is a big thing. Some 150 whales have died. So it's a very horrific news. So do let me know about this process, as well as this place, this country where we find this thing. And answers for your yesterday's questions are here. I have got one more question for you guys today. And that's everything in today's discussion. You can download the PDF of today's lecture from my FB page and Twitter handle. Please make sure that you share this lecture with other students. That's everything from my side. Enjoy your studies. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Jai Hind.